1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control.
All right. I saw the damage control car yesterday.
You did?
I did see the damage control car.
Where was it?
It was right near the post office, right near the Literacy Council. Joe Reichel is here. He's here to answer your questions about what you might need to do or will be able to do if you ever had that unfortunate circumstance of having your home damaged either from a tree, from lightning, from floods, from wind, from who knows, a car driving into it, fire, who knows. I mean, the things that could damage our homes are countless, I think. And Joe Reichel has also told us that the numbers of ways to repair them are countless just as well. And so he's in the studio right now to answer your questions.
Most importantly is protecting yourself from these things happening.
In the first place, yeah.
Yeah, that is key. And if you're prepared for them, prepared people always are able to get back on their feet and survive after these disasters. It's much easier for them than those who are unprepared.
So I saw the magnetic sign from Angie Lewis.
You saw that.
I saw that.
She magnetized me.
Well, I noticed that the other two guys were hidden by her sign. You were the only one left on that side of that vehicle.
See, here's the thing. The side of my car.
So I think they should be the ones who said they were magnetized.
Well, the side of my car, if you look at the wrap on my car, and the wrap pros did an awesome job, but the way the layout is, my head is on the doorknob. My forehead and hair is on the doorknob, door handle. So if you want to get into my car, you have to pull my hair. So anyway,
wow,
that's the reason.
It almost sounds kinky. But.
Yeah, that's the reason that my face was not covered up, because it was on the door handle. So. Yeah, the only open spot is over Mike and Rob.
Mike and Rob were actually the ones who were magnetized.
They were magnetized, yeah.
So what about on the other side of the car? Your hair must be not there? I mean,
same spot.
How could that be?
Two different pictures, reversed.
It's reversed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're always at the front of the car.
I'm always, yeah. Aerodynamics, the shorter guys up front.
Oh, I see. Because it'll slow the car down if you put Rob in the front.
Yeah. Rob's the tallest of the crew, so.
It's too funny. Yeah. So the car I saw yesterday, were you driving it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you see us? We were doing our busking thing over by the Literacy Council.
Yes.
You did?
Well, I tagged you on Facebook. I shared that post.
But yeah. I didn't see. But you didn't wave.
I didn't.
You didn't honk your horn?
No, I'm sorry.
You didn't ask for a sandwich?
I didn't.
Do you know how many people offer us food?
Really?
Yeah. I said, do I look like I need food?
We just need your money.
There's a sign here that says what we're doing. The one lady said, I'll give you $2 as long as you don't use it on drugs or booze. There's a sign here.
How much did you raise yesterday?
16.
Oh, that's how long were you out there for?
Hour and a half.
Another hour and a half.
Yeah. Hey, we are the tortoise. We're not the hare. We don't have the connections like Travolta. We don't have the big names.
Well,
we just the hare runs fast. The tortoise goes every single day.
You do know Joe Martone, so.
Yes, I do. Is it a hint? Should I be hitting him up for some money?
Those are big names, yeah. That's a big name. Yeah. He's a big guy.
So damage, what kind of damage have you heard about lately?
Damage lately.
You know what I heard yesterday? I actually heard this yesterday. A guy had a sinkhole in his under his house. And,
that's not so good.
And he knew it because he put some rocks in his garden to cover up like a divot, and the rocks disappeared. And his pool was draining slowly.
Oh wow!
So,
has he had it tested?
Yeah, he had it all done. So it was. I heard about the story after the good news. It was all done, but
sinkholes are a long. There's a long process you need to go through as far as sinkhole repair. It's not fun by any means, and it takes a while to do it. And even after the underpinning or the grouting, whichever route they do. There's several companies, Secure Restoration, Foundation Specialists, these companies that come out and take care of that kind of stuff. After they do this, your home then has to sit 90 days before any work continues, and that's to make sure that all of the settling and everything is done before you fix, the appearance of any of the structural cracks or things like that are in your home. So after all of the exterior work is done and the underground work is done, you have this wait time that you have to go through before you fix everything, whether it's your floors or the cracks in your walls or your doors not shutting right. And that's the part where we come in and take care of, or can come in and take care of, the exterior things. Everything's slab up. We don't do the underground stuff. We bring in another company for
So
that.
what is grout? What when they say grout?
Grouting is a technique that foundation service, not necessarily foundation services, but foundation companies, repair companies. It's a way that is done to repair or secure the building.
Is it
from moving?
But what am I picturing? What should I be picturing? Cement? What is it?
They use lots and lots of cement in this process.
So grouting is actually the process of using cement to do something else. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you end up with a large,
it's
big rock of cement under your house, right?
Yeah. There's lots and lots of cement that goes in, and it's different techniques that they use as far as getting it in there or what's done. If pilings are done, and they bore these large holes and fill them, secure it to the earth. So I think isn't there a restoration
right here?
Yeah, don't they take care of, isn't there a company that has a radio show?
Yeah.
Which company is that?
Universal Soil Solutions?
Universal Soil Solutions.
Right.
Yeah, they're another company that does it. Yeah,
and I heard them talk about grout, but I never asked what it was. For some reason,
would be the people to talk to.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
For that question.
I always pictured it to be sand, but it's not. It's actually something that solidifies.
Right. Yeah, sand's not going to help you. Not if you have a sinkhole.
No. Have you?
We've had lots of different clients. I mean, we're working on for a client right now. They had a lightning strike. A lightning hit a tree in their backyard and caused the tree to fall on the home, and lots of damage to the home because of the lightning strike. And at the same time, they had a company just afterwards, had a tree company come, and they were doing repair work, cleaning everything up, and the Bobcat that the guy was driving fell in a hole.
Oh no!
In their backyard. Not sure whether it was a sinkhole or what it was. And that's the thing. A lot of times there's, maybe an old tree that was cut down, and the root system and stump is rotted away, and now you have this hole that opens up. So there's just because you have movement or have something happen, it could be settling. It's not necessarily sinkhole, but never hurts if you have large cracks, things like that open up in your home, to have it checked out.
Have you ever had the assignment, I guess for lack of a better word to ask, where you literally had to move an entire house?
We have not. However, as a company, we've worked on homes that have been moved. We worked on one in the northwest side of town. She bought a home. This lady bought a home, and it was an old house, over 100 years old, and they brought a company in and had the home moved to a new location, and then she remodeled and totally updated it, changed the entire look of it actually. But we we did quite a bit of work on that.
Wow. I've seen them. I don't know if I've ever seen one in person. I've seen photographs, obviously, of houses being dragged down the road.
Right.
I believe I know this is not the same thing, but I believe when they put that schoolhouse in the Silver River State Park, that was in the news, being dragged down the road.
Yep, I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think I do remember that being in the news. And there's been several homes that have been moved, different buildings, and there's a lot of work, and the companies that do that are incredible.
Could you put a house on like, let's say when you go to Cedar Key right now, you'll see a lot of the newer homes on stilts. The older ones are not. Is it possible to put the older ones on stilts, or it's too late for them?
I think it really depends on the construction of the home.
Wow. I'd like to see that.
Well, and I mean, we've got a home right now that I'm working with a client, and he's got an older home. It's over 100 years old out in the Ocklawaha area, and they've got settling issues, so they're wanting to bring up the home, and it's on piers. So, we've done this before. You go under the house and jack it back up to where it should be and re-secure it there.
Really? That's amazing. And you have a phone call?
Excellent.
Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Great.
Okay. See, a couple of years back in my subdivision, I seen a house get built, and I'd never seen this before. It wasn't a frame. It wasn't a block house. It was solid concrete walls.
Right.
Poured. Are you, as a person asking for a big problem in case of settlement, if that would start to crack versus a block, or are you protecting yourself from a problem like that?
Well, here again, it really depends. Like any structure, no matter what you do, you have to make sure that your foundation is in great shape, and that the construction going underneath, make sure that the soil's compacted, make sure that this foundation is secure enough to hold whatever you're putting on top of it. Right. So a lot of that depends. A lot of that comes into play whenever you talk about which is better or what's happening. So really it's hard to say.
Yeah, well, here in Florida, we're subject to settlement more than like up north where there's more clay. And wouldn't you be? I would think because of the weight involved with a solid concrete wall, you're probably taking a chance on settlement because of even with a stronger foundation. But if you have a settlement situation with a block, you can kind of like patch the cracks up and stuff and that. But with a solid concrete wall, I mean, you may be looking towards a big problem there, right?
Well, you can patch those as well. And you mentioned clay. Clay is an enemy of any type of structure because as clay gets wet, it has movement. Then it dries and contracts, and that's something you mentioned up north. You've got to be concerned as far as a lot of freezing and thawing when you talk about up north. So, they're two completely different situations, and that you've got to take all of this into consideration whenever you're building a home, no matter where it is or what the soil is. And there's been lots of different types of building that have been done, and you either bring in soil for proper compaction, or you need to take soil away in order to get down to where you won't have problems. Right. If there is a lot of clay in an area, or
I know up north where there is a lot of clay. Your foundation goes below what they call the frost line, so you're safe that way. But it seems since I've been in Florida here, not only like people that we know and what you hear and read and stuff, it's the settlement seems to be a big. I'm not talking sinkholes either. I'm just talking because of the sandy soil. A lot of people have problems with the settlement.
Settlement is an issue, and you mentioned clay, and that's where we've had homes here that clay has caused problems. Lots of problems. There was one home out west Ocala that went to, and extensive cracking, interior, exterior, all the way around the home, and all of it was the main reason was the slope of the ground and the clay that was under the ground and causing movement. You would think anyone looking at the home would say definite sinkhole, but it was because of the clay.
You know the taller structures, the hotels they built down on a 200 interstate area down there that are, I don't know, 9, 10 story, whatever they are. They're higher structures.
Right.
Now that foundation must be quite a bit. You know how far they go down, and what do you actually hit when you have to hit something pretty sturdy, stable when you get down far enough, right?
Yeah, those type of structures are built completely different, and it is amazing what goes into the construction of buildings like that. And that's where you bring in the team of architects and engineers in order to do buildings like that. Any commercial structure, really. Yeah. But especially the multiple story ones like that.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Florida, all of Florida being sandy and subject to sinkholes and this, that, and whatnot, and you go down to like, just take for an example, a city like Tampa Bay. I mean, it's got skyscrapers, and I mean those things are not settling in the ground. They're there and they're staying there. So they must hit granite or something when they get down far enough.
They also have certain movement that they allow for. And that's where it's built. Those buildings are built completely different than anything you would do as far as residential.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with a building that's all solid concrete walls?
Yes, we have.
And it was a cracking settlement problem, probably, right?
Didn't really have too much. That wasn't the problem that we had with it, but we've done that type of construction before, so.
Yeah. Okay, is it a little more expensive than your typical block or frame?
I don't really know the answer to that. That's a great question.
Yeah. I wonder too if, like for hurricane and tornado, if it would be safer being a solid wall. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Especially here in Florida.
Yeah, it is. I'm not real sure about that. I'm sure it would be. As far as sturdy, it would be.
And then you
very
wouldn't
good.
have a termite situation, because I don't think there's that much wood involved.
Well, you still have your interior. If you use interior wood framing, you'll have wood trusses. If you go that route, unless you go metal. So even with a concrete walls, you'll still have termite problems. And anywhere that there's an intrusion, whether it's plumbing, electrical, or just a simple crack, you can end up with termites. So it's always good to make sure that you have a termite treatment, no matter what type of building that you have, if you have wood inside.
Yeah, like down here it's termites, and up north it's carpenter ants. I don't know which one's the worst, but I don't care where you go, it's a problem.
and that's where always it's important to make sure that you've got proper maintenance on your home.
Right, exactly.
I mean, in areas where you have a lot of trees overhanging or a lot of moisture up in in a roof area, you can end up with ants that are coming in those areas. Even down here, you can end up with the carpenter ants. So. Oh yeah,
I know that's what we had a home up in Wisconsin, and we had a large. It was a black. I forget the name of the tree, a black walnut, and a big limb was hanging over a porch area, and we had an attic full of carpenter ants. They just came off the tree and dropped down to the roof, and when we had somebody come in and look at it, they stuck a poke. They poked in the kitchen. They poked the ceiling, and a zillion ants just come falling down to the floor.
Oh yeah.
So it was a big project to get that fixed up.
Oh
but,
yeah, we've worked on lots of problems like that.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Yep, good talking to you.
Okay, bye now.
And the phone line is open if you'd like to call Joe. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. I'm with him. I've often thought, how do those big, tall buildings stand when some of the small buildings fall through? And you do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Hey, Joe. Just want to let you know I built my own house, or had it built, I should say, and had foundation services, but 96 pilings underneath the foundation, the actual, the footers of the house. They don't all touch not granite, it would be lime rock. They don't all touch lime rock. However, the side friction of those poles help my house not to move.
Yes. Yeah, it is always, and that's a lot of concrete going under a home, but it will help with the stability of it and keep it in place for sure.
Yep. Also, last week you were talking about the concrete blocks versus cinder blocks, and asked if there was one open in town again, or somebody asked or brought it up if there was one. The one on Gainesville Road is up and kicking again.
Oh, awesome. And that's a concrete block manufacturer?
Yeah, I think that was the original one that was here. I don't know, but it's the if you go down Old Gainesville Road or go north on it, I guess.
Right.
North of 326 towards like 100. Or actually, excuse me, it's south of 326. It's where the road splits going towards Cat.
Right.
Right in there in the triangular space, there's all kinds of concrete block. I believe that plant is up and running again.
Awesome. That's good to know.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Have a
Thank you
great
for the
day.
call.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. See ya.
And she's a repeat listener.
Good to have local businesses that are thriving, right?
It sure is. Yeah, this morning I met with two people this morning, both in the restoration business.
Really?
One does textile restoration. Amy,
Oh, wow.
Amy works with a company, CRDN, out of Jacksonville. She's located in Orlando. This is her territory. We call them in if we have a fire or a flood, any type of disaster where content such as coats, any textiles, coats, clothing, boots, jackets, bedding, curtains, all of this, they come in and pack it up, take it away, take it to their facility in Jacksonville, which they do the dry cleaning on, and are able to get out odors, any type of soot, whatever would be in the clothing. They take care of it. They have a unique process where they come in and they'll take a list of things that you may need immediately. So if you had a fire and everything smells like smoke, they'll do a rush order for you of like whatever the size of,
Right.
so that you can get by.
Right.
And then they do the rest of the order, and they'll store it until you can move back in your home and deliver it. So it's always good to have good relationships with people like this. So whenever a disaster happens, I can call Amy, say, hey,
Right.
we need you to come here and help this help this couple or this family.
So is that exclusively what they do? Is removing odors from fabrics?
Yes.
So restoration of fabric is all about the odor, not about tears and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell you if something can't be restored, or if it can be, whatever the difference is. They'll come in and take care of it if they can, and if they can't, they'll put it on a can't be restored list.
Just for the listeners, I don't want you to think I was laughing at what Joe was saying.
No, it was funny.
I was laughing at the other Joe.
Yeah, the other Joe was making fun of us through the window. And I also met this morning with Andrew Crowley. He's the owner of Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning.
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about, we had him come in on a job that had a stain on the carpet, and he has a unique process with Heaven's Best. Their carpet cleaning is dry in less than an hour. So he comes in and uses these chemicals in his process to clean. He'll take care of everything and make sure that it all comes clean, and he's done a lot of work for us.
I've often thought, I've rented those do-it-yourself machines, and they're good, but I always feel like somebody else with more expertise, maybe better machinery than I would be able to do it much better. Because there's always parts that I feel like I didn't quite get. It just doesn't look right. And you do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel. Hello?
They didn't want to talk.
Are you there? I guess not.
That's probably the other Joe playing games again.
The phone line is open if you would like to call. The number is 622-9622, the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Yeah, I've often, when you rent those machines, I guess you're only as good as the machine, or I don't know, or maybe the chemicals you buy, the soap you buy, and all that.
Well, and that's where you bring in a professional like Andrew, for example. If you're doing carpet cleaning or whatever the job is, they know what they need to do in order to take care of these situations. So, if it's blood, or if it's wine, or just
what happened
oil
at that
or
house?
Traffic, a lot of things get spilled. So, or just pet stains. I mean, they know what chemicals you need in order to clean those areas.
Yeah.
So, and if he can't clean it, he's going to tell you,
So
I can't clean this.
Is there an odor remover for the do-it-yourselfer? Other than
as
baking
far
soda?
as carpet? Yeah, there's lots of products on the market as far as odor, that will say they'll get rid of odor. A lot of them are just masking the odor instead of actually getting rid of it. So it really depends what you're using or what you're doing or what you're trying to cover up. So the guys today, good news, the guys today are working on the project for the corkscrew right downtown in Ocala.
Okay.
They're building the pergola out back of the corkscrew.
What's a pergola?
A pergola is like a gazebo of sorts.
And corkscrew is a restaurant?
The corkscrew is the winery downtown where you can make your own wine or your own beer, located right next to Starbucks. They are doing the project out back of the store and building this structure where they're going to be able to have outside events. So it's a pretty neat, really neat project that we're doing there.
That's cool. You guys are all over the place.
Yeah, we've got quite a few different projects happening, and really happy to see the growth that our business has taken, not only in the restoration field, but also in the construction side of it.
Building new stuff or improving something that's already in existence. Do you build decks for people?
We do decks.
Just come out and put a deck on
and
the
that's
house?
where decks are one of my absolute favorite things, because a deck, not only is it great for outside enjoyment, but they just add a lot to a home.
Have you ever seen the cabins that they rent at the Silver River State Park?
Yep.
Those porches are awesome.
They are.
I think everybody should have a porch like that, a screened-in porch. It's kind of goes back, I guess, to old Southern construction,
old Southern living. When you go out and sit on the porch and
that's
rock
awesome.
at night, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I wonder why we ever got away from that. It seems like
because it's hot outside, Larry. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes AC. Everybody wants to be in the air conditioning.
I don't have air conditioning, right?
I didn't know that.
So, and it's not by choice. It's just not cheap. But I could handle it, I think. I've been living without it for a while now, and I think you get used to being without it.
I enjoy sitting outside at night.
At night is awesome, yeah.
Yeah. Just, the outside air, and as long as you're away from mosquitoes, and I guess that's whenever you have a screen.
That's why there's a screen. That's right. I want to tell you one more thing. Can I tell you one more thing?
I'd love to hear one more thing.
We went to busk at the Friday night art walk thing.
That's because you're running for the Kiss the Horse
thing.
For Literacy.
Trying to raise money. Okay, so we were assigned to play by the place called Irish Rose.
Okay.
But it was pouring out. So the lady in there was really sweet. I don't know if you know her, Brenda is her name. She invited us to come inside. So we went inside. What do you think we see? A naked woman, totally painted, being photographed. I didn't even notice her right away because she blended in with the thing. She looked like an owl. And then all of a sudden my eyes got used to it. I said, whoa. So just thought I would share that I had a little bit of a life. I don't have much, but
she was covered in body paint.
Yes,
and looked like an owl.
That's what Robin said. To me, I just saw a naked woman with paint, and that was all. I was dazzled.
Who painted her?
I guess I don't know. Maybe the photographer that was in there.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like it needs some damage control for sure.
Wow, look at those cute high heels, huh?
Those are some high heels.
Joe, how do we get a hold of you?
You can call me directly, 352-817-6574, or you can reach me on my email address, joe@damageflorida.com.
And look for the car. It's got a wrap. It's got Joe's face visible, Angie Lewis's name covering Rob and Mike's face.
And you can stop me and get a magnet.
Get a regular size magnet.
That's right.
Not a big gigantic one.
Not a big one.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll take a little break. Be right back.
Damage control, damage control.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance,